17 ad creative secrets to help you grow your e-com brand. And I know these secrets because I use them. I oversee the production of more than 1,000 ads every single month, and our clients use them to scale from 1.1 to 2.7 million in 90 days. So let me tell you the first. Use podcast ad and street interview ad. No one uses them because they're complex to produce and even expensive, but they are amazing vehicles. 45% hook rate, 40% hold rate. These are spectacular, but make sure that these podcast ads contains 2 actors and not just one. And make sure that street interviews don't have a monologue but have a lot of back and forth. Second, start at least one hook with a sense of authority. For example, this celebrity said that, or Harvard Studies says that, or I'm a doctor, here's why you should, blah, blah, blah. Who is speaking is as much as important as what you're saying, especially if you want high converting ads. So try to use them, at least one hook, and I guarantee you, if you're not using them, you will see amazing results. Third, don't use music in your creatives, especially in the first 10 seconds. And people don't get this. I mean, if your ad sucks, you tend to think, okay, let's cover this up with some music. Let's make it more engaging. Let's make it sound. Let's make it look a little bit better, But what you're actually doing is distracting your audience even more from a message that is not working. So whenever you're crafting your creatives, do it without the music. And then if you're really, really, really good, if your editor is really skilled, you can add some music that can enhance the message. But it's very difficult. I mean, this is possible for high-end commercials or for multi-million-dollar Hollywood production, And I've never seen an editor that, does a repetitive task or, crafts 4 or 5 ads a day to choose the right music. Usually they just need to get shit done, which is great. So don't use that. The second reason is that most of the content that you see on social media does not start with music. It's just like some comedy skits or a person speaking on the stage or a cat, a short form cut from a podcast. These formats tend to not have music, and while on the other hand, ads usually have a lot of music. You will probably increase the chances of making an ad that don't look like an ad by not using the music. And this will increase your watch time, and this will increase your effectiveness, and also this will make your message more clear. Because there are no other distraction. Music distracts. If it's not perfect, it distracts from the message. It doesn't enhance it. Fourth, screenshot your UGC ads video, the raw footage, and use them for statics. No one is doing this. No one is talking about this, and this is crazy. You can literally 10x the output of your creatives just by screenshotting the parts where the UGC creator has product in his hands or is using the product or a B-roll shot, and you can squeeze the material that you already paid for and test a lot of different messages and use those visual to grab attention, using the faces. I got another video talking about this if you want to check this out, but this is very, very, very useful. And I can guarantee you that within your laptop, inside your laptop, in your hard disk or whatever, there is a winning ad. Like, guaranteed. Secret number 5, optimize your video for 9.16 or 4.5 format. Don't use 1.1. It's outdated. It doesn't take enough space. And just this trick will probably increase your conversion by 10%, 5%, 15%. It's not a big deal, but if you have an agency, if you have an internal team, you just say this one time, you adjust the processes, and you just get better results. So do it. 6, use power words in your headlines like secret and free and stuff like that. Don't use basic stuff. You can really go a little bit more aggressive. Now, I'm not a brand expert, and unless you're doing 8-figure, like 9-figure, you are probably not in the stage where you want to, to think a lot about branding in your top of funnel, area. Of course, in your mid funnel, in your bottom, you want to take that in consideration. But we are talking top of funnel, your acquisition channel, the first interaction that people will ever have with your product. They will forgot for sure. And once they are writing your landing page, they even forgot what was the ad. So be aggressive. Don't worry. Don't say, oh, maybe this is too. No, this is a secret. This is free. This is a steal. These things work. 7, focus on creatives, not structures and little tactics, but you already know this. 8, fake testimonial UGC are a mid-tier format to push your ads, to push your message, to push your product, and they don't work. They work really, really bad. People still use them, but they used to work really, really well like 3 or 4 years ago. Now there's this thing called UGC blindness. Like you see this testimonial ad like, oh, I had this problem, then I use this, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work anymore. I banned them from my agency. We only use that in really, really specific cases or only by applying authority and educational type of ad. So yeah, don't use them. Especially if you have like a mid copywriter or your copy is not really, really specific and you say still things like, oh, it's a game changer, but then I finally found this product, oh, I had this problem. Like this type of storytelling is boring, and if you apply this to a format that is boring itself, you're done. And the reason why people will see stuff like that, even if you can see online stuff that looks like a testimonial, like a talking head, but you're watching that content because of the person, because it's an influencer, because it's a celebrity, because it's your favorite comedian, not because it's just a person speaking in front of you. 9, AI ads. Like these ads that are made from AI, and they really just leverage this FOMO of trying to incorporate AI into your business, but there is absolutely no reason for you to use creative that has like AI formats. And yes, maybe you can get a really strong hook. Maybe you can get a really weird image generated in Mid-Journey, but how much time does it take to generate that? And are you sure that it will work? And what's your budget? Like everything considered, probably making AI ads is not a great choice. 10, make ads that don't look like ads. In our agency, we call them stealth creatives because they fly under the radar whenever you see them on your feed. And people don't want to see stuff that look like an ad. They just skip it, right? So try to make them look like organic content that you really want to consume from your social media, which is YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. So what do you do instead? Instead, you want to do stuff that you see on your feed, like for example, skit conversation made by your favorite, creator comedian. And you will see a lot of creators nowadays that really do these skits, and they are making like millions of views, and you see them all over the place. And it's a very good, cheap vehicle to convey your message in an entertaining way that don't look like ad. So this is an example. Another one is the education from an authority. So whenever you're looking for some credible knowledge, especially before ChatGPT, you want to look for an authority that makes consistent videos on social media and has a lot of authority, proof, credibility, and you watch their content. And how does this content look? Usually it's like a person speaking in front of the camera, explaining his stuff, being serious, like explaining and educating a lot about the matter. So this will look like a social media content, but only when it's paired with an authority and when there is a lot of explanation there. And then you can, on top of this, add your B-roll. This will not look like an ad. 11, test at least 3 hooks per each creative. Of course, if your hook doesn't grab the attention of the right audience, it will not perform. So you want to diversify your strategy, your risk into 3 scene that you will call hook. You put at the beginning, And this will increase by a lot the chances that your ads will work. Maybe you can do up to 5 hooks, between 3 and 5. This is the best cost-effective strategy. I would not do more than 5. Just change concept or, iterate previous ones. Secret number 12, shoot everything on iPhone except if you're an 8-figure brand. But even in that case, you should probably focus on just things shot in iPhone for the same principle. First, it's cheaper. And second, it will not look like an ad. It will look like organic content. Organic content that you see is all shot in iPhone, except podcast ads. Podcast ads are the only exception to this rule. 13, focus on optimizing information consumption. If people can't really understand your message and can't consume the information that you give them, they will never justify clicking the button and going to the landing page. Or even if they click on that, they might miss a lot of information from the ad that was useful to justify the purchase. So what you want to do is to make sure that people can hear, can read, and can see the same thing, so the message is coherent. Okay, so everything you hear, everything you see, everything you read is consistent. Another thing is to put everything in the center. Okay, you don't want to put the caption really low and your face super high, because this will cause a lot of fatigue in the eye. The eye will just move up and down trying to see all the information. What you want to do is to keep everything in the center, so it's easier for the viewer to consume that information. 14, test the static to validate the angle, and then double down on videos to really scale your paid acquisition channel. Don't try to do the videos without doing the statics. Statics work, absolutely. And whenever you want to test a new message, it's probably more cost effective first doing the statics, which you can do internally. And then for the video ads, you can hire an agency, or you can do them internally if you're able to, or whatever. But yeah, videos are more complex, expensive. Don't waste that money just to try new angles. 15, if you have a big offer, make a static retargeting ad with just these 2 elements. So basically you have your product and the big offer, the big discount. And this will work particularly well if you have like a big discount that you never mention and you mention only in the retargeting ads. But this is super nice. It works fine, especially if you don't do it. If you don't have it, if you are not doing this, I see sometimes from trying to put a brand not doing this. It's very simple. 16, make your copy super ultra mega specific and never generalize anything. So instead of saying it's a great product, it's a game changer, you're actually not saying anything. Make sure that you are including feature and benefit within this sentence, and be very specific. So I really love this feature A because it provides benefit A, right? So also make sure to correlate everything and make sure that your copy is ultra mega specific. In any case, make sure that if you want to make it to be even more specific, and if it's relevant, just add where, when, why, how, who, right? Like the basics, and to make your message more specific. If you hit those checklists, it will be more specific. Another trick that you can do to make it more specific is, after you say something, just ask yourself how. If you don't answer this question, you're probably being very generic, and you can even ask yourself 2 times this question. So I really love this product. How? Why? How does it work? If you're explaining something, of course, or if you're making a statement, like blank statement like that, like why? Oh, I love it because of this feature. Okay, why? How does it work? And then you constrain yourself into saying, okay, I love this feature because it provides this benefit, because it will help me achieve this dream results. So now you're explaining stuff and you make them very specific, and it works. 17, your script is too long, guaranteed. So what you want to do is to take your long script You want to understand exactly what you are talking about in terms of direct response, what you are mentioning. You're mentioning the problem, you're mentioning a part where you agitate your viewer, you're mentioning the solution, the feature, the benefit. Okay, now try to say the same things with half of the copy, okay, in half of the time. And the reason is that you are paying people for their attention, so you don't want to waste them, right? So if you have a 40% hook rate and then you have a 10% hold rate, you have a 10% of a 40%, depending on how you calculate your hold rate. We calculate the hook rate from 0 to 3 seconds and the hold rate from 3 to 10. So this means that if you have a 30% hook rate, a 10% hold rate, which is very low, you will have like 3% of the people, right? So yeah, after the 10 seconds, you lost most of the people and you paid for them. So make sure to say the same things as soon as possible, as fast as possible. And then when you shorten your message, when it's really dense of direct response blocks, dense of meaning, then you can start to think, okay, let me enrich this script with copywriting, words, with power words, or let me enrich this with more feature, more explanation, more benefit, or making it better copy, and then make it even longer, to try to explain more. Maybe you add some social proof, maybe you add some scarcity, maybe you add some urgency, maybe you add in the middle a unique mechanism, and try to make it or discredit solution or other direct response blocks that really can help you fake cold people and transform them into buyers, and really try to work this cold traffic and make your ad really scalable. You need an ad that is really dense, and you need an ad that is pretty long or for enough time to really convince people to click on the landing page and buy right away. I've got more videos coming, so don't miss out, check them out. And if you need help, I have an agency, just book a call and we will have a chat together. And enjoy. See you in the next video.